Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to Tennis Manager. This is episode number 78. We are approaching the end of the season. We have the finals for the end of the season still to play out. So there's that little bit left to do here. But let's do a check-in because I have not done one all season. I really haven't bothered with it this year as we're getting towards the end of things, and so much of it's just kind of out of your hands and you do what you do, and that's what you do. Well, anyway, for the first time ever, at least with a large team anyway, for the first time with a large team, 7 members. There are 6 of them sitting on a 100% evaluation for their minimum objectives for the year, with everybody having time beyond this year on their contracts. The only one who is not at 100% is Montgomery. But looking at this, if you have not already looked at it, the one thing that is not checked off for her is qualifying for the finals. The finals are in a week. She is ranked number 3. She will qualify. Therefore, she, too, like the other 6, will have a 100% evaluation. So we are set to, for the first time, have everyone return. We're not losing a quarter of the team or half the team or the majority of the team. They will all stick with us into our next and presumably final season, as we are now, less than a month away from the release of the new Tennis Manager. And, at this rate, I'm doing about 1 episode a week as we are, wrapping things up. We've won 4 Grand Slams. Pretty much the only thing we have not achieved at this point, besides diversity in winners, is ranking number 1. That's about the only thing left that you can go, hey, that's something I can target. So that's what we'll try to target for next season. But of course, in reality, Montgomery is number 3. She's the 3rd best player in the world. She has not overcome the other 2. One of them still kicks her butt every time they play. Most every time. She's gotten good enough to beat her on rare occasions. There's still a pretty significant gap, and next season we'll just try to close that and see if we can overtake her. But with all of those Grand Slams we took this year, 3 out of that last 4, well, now 3 out of 5, whatever it is. Anyway, it's still, it's not enough to overtake those 2. They are still some ways ahead of us, and I don't see them dropping off anytime soon, as they are, both hovering right around that 30 years of age. They're not going to have a sudden drop off in talent like Osaka has, where Osaka's really started to fall off and is on the back end of the top 10, as are some other players that are around there. You're seeing the old guard make way for a younger generation, and the younger generation that's up and coming are mostly my players that I have. We are the youth movement that is into the top 20. And the couple that aren't part of our team were a part of our team. Corey Goff, Fred Furtova, for example, Kazanzeva. Those are the other young players. Otherwise, you're looking at 29, 30, 31 for the entire top 20. Or those couple older players like Osaka now, who are falling away. Well, anyway, okay, here we are. We've got everybody coming back. Let's go ahead and get through those finals, see how we wrap up this season, and then make our way into the next one. Tour Finals is missing 1 player from the top 8. I'm assuming that's Osaka at number 7. I believe that is her current ranking. So Osaka retiring or something, injured, I don't know what the case may be, but she is absent, and we have lucked out and picked up the lowest seed here in the first round. But we do have the likely matchup of Swiatek in the semis, and that, of course, is the hardest one for us. Not that Andreescu isn't equally tough. So either way, semifinal was looking like a bit of a stretch. Quarterfinal, let's hope we get through this one. I actually just started scouting Amogwe, who looks like a pretty strong talent, by the way, and one of the youngest around the top 20. Oof, ouch, ouch, ouch. Okay, well, I was planning on playing the semis. The quarters did not go so well, though. We are out 5-7, 5-7. Closely contested, but we lost. Total winners, clear advantage. Unforced errors, holy crap, Montgomery, 41 unforced errors out of 150 points played. That's a third of the points almost. That is, I'm dumbfounded. I mean, it's more than a quarter. That is an insane giveaway. Ouch. I think she literally pulled out a gun and shot herself in the foot on this one. I've never seen, don't remember anyway, I don't recall, even when she was awful. I don't remember ever seeing such a poor performance. Keeping an eye on the performance, Swiatek has won the semifinal, Sabalenka has won the other, and Sabalenka is the Tour Finals champion. A couple weeks back, Montgomery had a single increase in attribute, which was +1 to her speed, now at 16 as her base. It was enough. It was enough. She has pushed from 4 stars to 4.5. Finally. Been waiting for that one for a long time. And, looking at her attribute distribution, her only weaknesses: composure, killer instinct, fighting spirit. She's 26, and those things are still very slowly coming along. Even the confidence has just barely reached the no longer white font 13. She is very much due for an upgrade in that department. I would assume that it is that area of her game that just cost her that quarterfinals in the women's tour finals. That being said, we are at that fun stage that I like to call murder ball. This is where I go on a rampage of training every available slot for the players through the end of the year, and then they get their rest in December and they come back all nice and fresh. But meanwhile, I train like crazy in this window. You do that during the regular season and they can't perform. You murder your players. But now's a great time to do it because they're going to get a rest and they're going to recover. So now we train harder than any other time during the year. It's week 47, so there's still a very small window where a couple of our players had tournaments this week. Everybody else is in that murder ball training program right now, and this is the kind of results we're getting from that. Kim, 40% gained, and that's potentially more than that. I mean, we don't know how far into the next level she is unless we go in and check her actual progress into the next level. But that's Kim now up to level 12. Wooks, same thing, easily leveling up, and you're going to see a lot of that. Montgomery, who does not train well anymore at this stage of her career, gains are very, very minimal for her now. She is very close to what her overall potential is. It's hard to get much of anything, and we got her reflexes within 2% of level 18, which is what I'm targeting right now because of how close it was to leveling up. So that's what I'm after, and one more week of training hard and she'll have that one. Popova, you can see the anticipation, the speed all going up by a wide margin, but she is not as good as some of our other players, so she just does not train as well. 28% gained is good for anyone, but compared to some of her teammates, that's just smaller scale. Squall was still in a tournament, but makes nice gains anyway. And here's that long-term problem with Raducanu. There's just not much gains anymore for her. No matter how or where we push, she's a player that in the coding has reached her potential, and we're just inching her along further, trying to make her into, I'd say at this point, she's about the quality of where she's at real life as an 18-year-old, not as a late 20s something that she is in the game. She's still the player with tons of potential that has a long way to go, where here she's already there. Through that indoor season, here is the progress. that we made with our athletes. Yemafnova starting off. Wow. Great job. From 17th up to 10th in the rankings with a couple tournament wins. 21 out of 25 matches were victories for her. That is a huge, huge sign of her progress. Raducanu, despite the moderate, minimal progress that she is getting, she's still going upward. More comfortably into the top 20 now in 18th. Squaw only playing 2 tournaments at the World Tour level, and she got 5 wins out of 7 matches played. So that is a big stretch from her, because last period she only played 1 tournament and lost the first match. No points. Here, only 11. Squaw is still very much a junior, and that is where her focus has been. Speaking of, she remains number 1. Her points scoring haul went up even higher, 1 additional tournament compared, and she won 4 out of the 6 with 29 matches played. I mean, those 2 that she didn't win, I know for sure one of them was a finals appearance because it was just a week ago and she lost in the finals. The other one, I'm not quite sure where that was in that tournament, but I mean, that's a pretty dang good record for a junior player whose progress rate has been just insane. Prepova up 4 spots. It's like no matter what we do, everybody is, their trajectory is heading the same direction. And that's good to see, because I don't think we've really been in that state before. Here's the only disappointing part is Montgomery, who stayed 3rd, did not have her best period. She only won 1 tournament. Was 11 for 14, which was same as before, but this was 4 tournaments versus 3. So same record, good record, solid period, but disappointing Grand Slam loss, Tour Finals loss. Her 1 win was the smallest tournament she's been in a while, which was a Premier 280. Amazingly, that was her first ever 280 tournament win. She nearly had a finals matchup against Raducanu, but Raducanu lost in the semifinals, so it would have been really cool to have those 2 playing each other. Didn't happen, but that's okay. And finally, Pooks, who is the one who just recently graduated from the youth ranks into World Tour, and she has gone from about 900 up to top 300 this season without any direction from us. Losing all of the tournaments she was in, but she did get 5 wins along the way, and she's getting better. But Pooks is one that I would have been completely fine with losing this season, as she's just not that great. And finally, Kim. Oh, darn, there's your one and only who did not go in a good direction. She lost 1 placing from 24th down to 25th, but she remains in the top 25, and definitely at the start of the year she was nowhere near top 25, so she's made her way up. I think she was about 45th at the start of the year. 5 tournaments. She did get 1 tournament victory, 10 wins from 14, and it was actually a good stretch. She just didn't get any big points during this stretch, meaning the big tournaments she either wasn't in or just didn't get through those, and it was the minor stuff where she found some success. All right, well, today was a quick episode, but we have made it to the end of the year. I'm going to continue that murder ball training until they go on vacation, but that might be next week. And then we'll get them back in December, which you can murder ball train at least for a couple weeks on that one, but then you got to back off and ease into the season, and they already start with a pretty busy training program at the start of the year, so I tend to not mess with that one too much. But I'll see you next time as we kick off with the Australian Open and get things going down under. Another chance at a Grand Slam. I think that's one. Is that the only one we have not won before? Because we have 4 total, and we've won one of them twice and a couple single victories, so I think that's the only one that has been a bit of a struggle for us. We'll see how we do next time out. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.